Hello, my name is Ethan and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Metamorph League. In this episode, well, I explained cluster jewels, especially for minions because we're a necromancer main, and I'll make sure to cover you guys on this, but here we go. Click. Okay, so I'll start off with something familiar for you guys because this is new. You shouldn't know what a cluster jewel is. I didn't know what a cluster jewel is, and so we have to start off from something familiar. How does it actually work? So where this abyss jewel is located can be a cluster jewel. So in the new league, this will become it can be used as a normal jewel socket, but it can also be used for large cluster jewels. And when it says it's a large cluster jewel socket, you can fit large, medium, or small into that socket from large. Okay, so it works down. Next. So all you have to do is socket a large cluster, medium cluster, or small cluster in this socket, and then it starts stuff. Okay, so we'll start off by showing a unique cluster large jewel. So look at the little picture at the bottom too. It like kind of visually represents what it's gonna do, but it's clusters inside clusters. So it adds 3 jewel socket passive skills, and what that means is this. Whoa! So you allocate it here. This is the mana node next to CI, and then it gives you this big branch. And so I would assume that it takes 3 points. You allocate these jewel sockets, and then because this is a large, you can fit medium and small in it. You can't put a large in a large. And so you also may notice that the medium ranges between 4 and 6 passives. Passive includes the jewel socket. And then the small is a 3. So your medium is a 4 to 6. And your small is a 3. And so it's very obvious that the most efficient stuff you could do is probably like a large into a medium into a small, because that's like the easiest connections without wasting extra connectors that waste points. Because using this is neat, but why don't we just go use a different jewel socket, you know? So all the clusters, if you want, you know, you can do this. Yes, this is going to be possible. You can go full-on clusters out there. Craziness. We might find that it's better, you know? What if these clusters are actually that insane? Okay. Now, minions! Okay, so this is the Carry-On Shine Medium Cluster Jewel. So what this would do is add 5 passive skills. And among these 5 passive skills, you're going to have 1 Blessed Rebirth, 1 extra jewel socket, and then the 3 travel nodes are going to have minions increase life, chaos res, and life. Okay, so the jewel will look pretty weird, but it would be like 1 notable and a jewel socket, and then 3 like travel nodes. So this is a 5, and I told you that a medium can be 4 to 6. So this could actually have 1 more passive skill, but you can't change this, I don't think, because it's an enchant. Anyways, this one specifically, I wanted to start off with this cluster jewel because we're a minion build, dude. And so I just wanted to put this into perspective. This medium cluster for 5 points, well, technically 6 and the jewel socket, 56% minion life, 12% chaos res, 21 life. Minions are immune. This is worth infinite money. And then a small cluster jewel. So you can still add a small cluster jewel because we have 1 jewel socket. And like I said, you can only put small in medium because you can't put a medium in a medium and you can't put a large in a medium. It's only going down. Okay. So yeah, this minions created recently cannot be damaged thing is ridiculous, and also the fact that this is 56% minion life, that's a lot. That's so much. And 12, okay, I also want to point out, 12 per travel node. Dude, that's as much as our actual minion things on the skill tree. That's more than the things on the skill tree. Like, that's the highest minion life travel node possible. And it comes with Chaos Res and Max Life. Like, what? This is pretty good. This looks pretty good. Cluster jewels are probably broken. Short break with the trailer. Alright, so now we're going to show you the Honor Cut Medium Cluster Jewel. Enjoy.
If you're lucky, you'll be rewarded with power beyond all reckoning. A little madness may expand your mind.
Grow your passive skill tree by placing cluster jewels in its outermost sockets. Craft these jewels to improve their passives, add one of 280 new notables, or graft additional sockets and exclusive keystone passives.
And we're back. Okay, so now we have this Honor Cut Medium Cluster Jewel, and so in the bottom left, it's showing how you can have your jewel, 6 passives, like I said. The small passives will have 10% increased flask effect duration, and then it shows how it has 3 passive skills, which are a jewel socket and 2 notables. Then, on the right side, the other one, it shows that he held a button, probably, like Alt, to show more information, and it will tell you what the notables do without even putting it on the skill tree and having a check. So you can actually check them as you're rolling them. You don't have to put them in the skill tree. Oh my god, this is amazing! And so then we see Special Reserve. 20% increased damage during any flask effect. Regenerate 2% of life per second during any flask effect. Flask effect stuff, dude. Pathfinder. Peak Vigor. 8% increased maximum life. 30% increased life recovery from flasks. That's a lot of life. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good cluster jewel. Like I'm saying, these are really making these jewels and stuff look really good. And yeah, I'm really excited to use these. Oh my god! Okay, yeah, we got a lot of stuff shown, so I'll explain the hollow palm technique after. We already went through the voices. The one on the left, Entropy Glisten Large Cluster Jewel. 8 passive skills. Yeah, I think you can have up to 11. Added small passive skills grant 12% increased lightning damage and 27 evasion. So 8 of the, oh god, well 6 of those because you have 2 notables. And so this large cluster jewel doesn't have a jewel inside a jewel. And so the only way you do a jewel inside a jewel is having the mod of saying one of the passive skills is a jewel socket. So that's important too. While rolling your right notables, while rolling the right stuff. Oh my god. So we don't know what Vengeful Commander or Widespread Destruction does, but it sounds really cool. I can't wait to see what they do. On the top right, Loath Wound adds 3 passive skills, and they give 3% increased max life, which is on the low end. It would have to be 3 or 4, and so 3 is fine, but 4 would be great. A flat 6 life, and extra 0.1% of regen. That starts to add up, you know, pushing that 3% into the realm of being decent, you know? And then Vicious Guard, whatever that is. Next. One with nothing. I told you I'd explain it. So, Hollow Palm Technique. You count as dual wielding while you are unencumbered. 60% more attack speed while you are unencumbered. And then it says here, you are unencumbered while you have no equipped gloves, main hand, or offhand. And so, this can be disabled items, and people were pointing out like rampage items and stuff. So this looks really cool, but we won't be really doing this because dual wielding. But it's just to show powerful things that are possible with these jewels. And this is a small, and so you can have large, medium, and then finish it off with the small to get the extra. I don't remember what they're called. Anyways, here we have another screenshot from the trailer. So this was another small Soul Glimmer. Adds 3 passive skills, and the passive skills give 12% cold res. Then you also get 5% lightning res, and you get 6 life. And then, so that's on 2. 2 travel points would have all that. So in total you're getting 24 cold, 10 lightning, and 12 life. And then you get Pure Gale, Ghoul, I don't know. You'll get that, whatever that is, as your third one. Dragon Glimmer, medium cluster on the top right. 4 passive skills on a medium. So like I said, I think it's 4 to 6 for medium, and then 7 to 11 for large. So yeah, this one will have passive skills that grant 10% area damage. That's pretty good. 2 to all attributes. That's pretty good. 10 to ES. That's pretty good. Expansive Might. Ooh, a notable. And a jewel socket. So you get 3 points of travel with that stuff. And then you get the Expansive Might, which Expansive Might also works with this, so it's an area jewel, obviously. While stationary, gain 10% increased area of effect every second up to a maximum of 50. 20% increased damage with maces, scepters, or staves. War staves are considered staves. So, that's a lot of increased area of effect. Just for being stationary. How many abilities force you, or want you, or you could be stationary to get 50% increased area of effect in 5 seconds of standing still? Blight? Anyone? Wow, that's so cool. That's really cool. Breach. Delve. Okay. Hypnotic Eye, small cluster jewel. 2 passes? Ew! Not 3? What? You can have less than 3? Holy. Okay, dude. Added small passive skills grant 3% increased life. Yeah, we've seen that already. 24 evasion and the 1% regen. And we have blessed, though. Wait, did I look at that one already? Whatever. I need to go look. Oh, it was another one. Very similar. This one had evasion and the life instead of life. Yeah, and then we have blessed, which we don't know what it is. So then I added here, in the trailer we saw Nature's Patience, and it's gain 2 grasping vines each second while stationary. 2% chance to deal double damage per grasping vine. 1% less damage taken per grasping vine. And you can have up to 10. So this is 20% chance to deal double damage. And 10% less damage taken. Yeah, and you get move speed reduction, which you're not going to be moving anyway, so it's fun. Okay, and then the top right, the Interrogation Small Cluster Jewel adds Secrets of Suffering. Secrets of Suffering makes it so you cannot ignite, chill, freeze, or shock. You can still use skitterbots, so you can still have freeze and shock, and chill. Sorry, chill and shock. And then critical strikes inflict Scorch, Brittle, and Sapped. And from my understanding, Scorch is 20% reduced elemental res. Brittle is 10% chance to critically strike. And the sap is 20% less damage dealt by the enemy. So they're so powerful. Okay, let's continue. And we have Kitava's Teachings. It's another small cluster jewel, and this adds Disciple of Kitava. Disciple of Kitava, I've already pointed out, is an absolutely disgusting jewel in our build because we're already eating corpses all the time. And so every second, consume a nearby corpse to recover 5% of life and mana. 10% more damage taken if you haven't consumed a corpse recently. So if you're just always consuming corpses, you're just always recovering 5% regen. It's ridiculous! And then we have, I think this is the last one, Notable Medium Cluster Jewel. This adds 5, and each one gives 10% increased damage while affected by a herald. Adds one thing called Self-Fulfilling Prophecy, and so this would have 4 nodes, 4 passives of the 10% increased damage. And then the final node is this Self-Fulfilling Prophecy, which is shown here. 1% to critical strike chance of herald skills. 25% critical strike multiplier if you've dealt a crit with a herald skill recently. So yeah, super cool, super powerful. Now I'll show you where our ideal spots are probably in our build. There was even one shown in the examples. So obviously the one we're using right now is the one with the Abyss on the left. It's the armor spot. We could use a large cluster there, taking up like 20 passive skill points of our 123 for the season. And so that's a pretty big commitment into large cluster, you know? So that's probably a thing almost guaranteed. So you can almost guarantee there's going to be 20 points into a large cluster jewel. And then if we want to, we could look at these other sections that I'm showing in the middle and the right. Those could be another 20 passive skill points thrown at doing another large cluster if I think that it's really good. We'll have to see how good they really are, but I'm almost guaranteed to use at least one section. 20. So that's pretty cool. In conclusion, I'm excited. PogChamp. Large cluster, medium cluster, small, about 20 points. That's about the strat that I'm going to be going for now. What we've seen for now is that minion immunity, for which it covers Summon Raging Spirit, it covers skeletons. It's like, what? That's so broken. And then the minion nodes, 12% minion life as a travel node on top of being able to roll some other additional stuff on the mods. What is this, dude? And we still had the notable. Holy shit, these are insane. So yeah, I couldn't be more ready for this to come right now. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I hope you learned something new about the cluster jewels and now know how they work, or know how to use them in your build and understand them more than you did before you clicked on the video. I hope that you could get some inspiration from some crazy shit that I point out, or like the way I analyze the jewels of like actually adding up the stats of like what you could get and stuff to look at actually how good they are compared to the nodes on the skill tree. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you guys for all the support. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my Patreon and YouTube members who financially support the channel. So thank you to Hannah, Steven C, Tradnix, Last Fables, White Wolf, Stacy, you Boggy, YouTube members Gabriel, Dubu, Goose Eggs, John, the Luch, Lamprou, Da, White Wolf, Tradnix, Garbar, and Herlon. Thank you guys for all the support, and I couldn't do this without you guys. I appreciate it all, and thank you my 35 subs on Twitch. Bye!